I'm Jason Whitlock. That's Marcellus Wiley. That dude.
Yes, sir.
All right, why don't you speak for yourself, the most fearless show in sports. Coming up, Brad Faxon will be here to tell us what to expect from Tiger Woods at the U.S. Open this weekend. But we start today with Kevin Durant. We're all justifiably trying to make sense of what happened to NBA superstar Kevin Durant. Durant, of course, injured his Achilles in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. After sitting for a month with a strained calf muscle, it's clear now the Warriors rushed Durant back to play and put too much of a burden on him in his return.
Man.
But now we're going deeper. We're looking for the why and the what should we learn from this. Yesterday, former NBA star and current ESPN broadcaster Jalen Rose said he blames the overall culture of sports and a herd mentality among professional athletes. He said Durant was forced to return based on the chatter that he's soft, really didn't want it, and wasn't committed to the Warriors. Via Twitter, NFL star Richard Sherman scolded other athletes for questioning Durant's decision to play. Sherman wrote, "It really frustrates me listening to current and former players act like anyone could have kept KD from playing last night. Every single athlete worth their weight dreams of playing in the championship game of their sport, and most of us are making that same decision. Hashtag stop the BS." Rose and Sherman make interesting and defensible points, but I don't fully agree, particularly with Rose.
Really?
The culture of sports is to blame. Maybe 20 or 30 years ago. Back then, we celebrated Ronnie Lott for cutting off the tip of his pinky finger so he could be ready for the start of the 1986 season. Back then, we made movies like Rocky, where our hero told his quarterman, "I can't see anything. You got to open my eye. Cut me, Mick." Better or worse, you decide. Those days are long gone. Those days are regarded as toxic and barbaric. If Karl Malone elbowed Isaiah Thomas and caused 40 stitches today, he would likely be charged with criminal assault. An NBA fan / owner pushed Kyle Lowry, and people called it assault. The culture of sports is soft. There's too much money being made for it not to be. Athletes are justifiably protecting themselves, whether it be Kawhi Leonard refusing to play in San Antonio or college football players declining to play in bowl games. Today's athletes are making far different decisions than their predecessors. So rather than blame the culture of sports for the Durant tragedy, let's blame the real culprit, the culture of social media. Social media is the new Jack Tatum, the Oakland Raiders safety who wrote the book, They Called Me an Assassin. Social media is the assassin of character. That's the toxic culture that climbed into Durant's head and provoked him to risk everything. For the most part, media people and former athletes have complained that Durant was soft for leaving OKC and going to Golden State. I'm unaware of any credible person questioning Durant's toughness as it relates to this injury. I'm aware of credible people questioning the thickness of Durant's skin because of the way he responds to his critics on social media. Durant is a cautionary tale about social media addiction. That's the story here. We're all, to some degree, addicted to the noise coming from our so-called smartphones. Durant is addicted at a dangerous level. The people close to him share his addiction. His mom has a Twitter feed based off being Durant's mom. He's not alone. Steph Curry's wife is her own social media brand. Draymond's mom is active on Twitter. They used to say a family that prays together stays together. Now families tweet together and beef with trolls together. I blame that for Durant's tragedy far more than the modern culture of sports. All right, joining the desk now are Fox Sports NBA analyst Cuttino Mobley and Bleacher Report's Rick Bucher. Marcellus, I'll start with you. Who's more to blame, sports culture or social media culture for Durant?
Well done, Whitlock. I'm going to blame the sports culture. First, let's not even go into the alternative here when we're talking about social media and then how it's a softer sports world. Remember No Mas, 1980?
Yeah, Roberto Durant, No Mas.
Tap out, right? Tap out.
Sugar Ray beat him up pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Social media, what Facebook was looking like in 1980. Oh, so we got countless examples. I'm not going to dumb it down with that. Let's talk about what Durant went through in the sports culture. I've been here before. I think there are a few elements we must highlight. First, Every single athlete that I know, once they get a contract, once they're big time, wants to earn their keep. I think that's a commonality with all work cultures. Hey, I'm here. They paid me. I want to earn my keep. I want to live up to this title. After that, when you get injured, this is what happens. People start knocking at your door. Remember who these people are. They know your address. They're close to you. They're your teammates. They're your coaches. They're the executives. Here's what first happens. Your teammates come up to you. They don't ask you, how are you doing? They say, you good, right? A little suggestive, a little leaning. You're good, right? And then your coach is looking at you like, man, half of you is better than most of all the other players in this league. You gonna be all right, KD, right? I mean, it's just all this leaning in with pressure, the organization. And look, I've been there before. So when that starts to occur, what happens is the knocking at the door. Even if you don't open the door, it's disturbing your peace. What happens then? That knocking gets louder and louder. It clouds your judgment. It clouds your vision. To sooner than later, you may relent and open the door to people you're familiar with, people you love to work with. So that's what happened to Kevin Durant. I am as guilty as him. I'm as guilty as Richard Sherman. I'm as guilty as every player I've ever seen in that exact same moment. You cave into that pressure to open the door to those you feel.
I would agree with that. I would go, but because it's Kevin Durant, I would go 70-30 social media. 60-40 social media. That's me, right? And then the other 40 or the 30 would be more so sports culture, right? Because we've been taught since kids to fight through pain, right? No one's 100% after like 12, 14 years old. You're always spraining ankles or doing something.
Yeah.
I think if it was someone else, different. But because it's Kevin, and Kevin responds so much to social media, as soon as, I don't know what he does, but as soon as he wakes up, he's literally looking at that phone, which in his brain, yeah, you're from the East Coast, yeah, you're tough, yeah, you want to prove, but yet that's more incentive that I have to go out there and prove. And he's a very loyal person too. Loyal not just to his players and his teammates, even though he may leave, but loyal to his base, his fan base, his where he's from, right? And where we're from is you fight through it. You named the Rocky thing. We fighting through these different things. And I think that's what hurt Kevin, listening to that, hearing the tweets, hearing the Instagram, hearing all these things. I think that's what put more of the pressure on it. And to you, Marcellus, what you're saying is that passive aggressive, you all right? I think all of that takes a toll with Kevin because if it was, like I said before, if it was anybody else, different. But because it's Kevin and he caters so much towards social media, I think that's put the pressure on him.
Quick story, Karl Malone. You never saw him wear sleeve, elbow, nothing. He had a sprained knee at one point, and he put a sleeve on it. Jerry Sloan walked into the locker room and said, "You're not going to wear that blank rag, are you?" Karl Malone went out on the court. He wasn't wearing anything on his knee. That's the passive aggressive that you speak of. That's the. It didn't have anything to do with how Karl.
1980.
Exactly, but fair.
90s.
We've
Culture's
seen
still there, though. That culture's still there.
Yeah.
We've seen Kevin Durant respond to social media. Have we seen him act upon social media? Have we seen him do anything on the court
Burner account.
to answer? No. That's still
That's
in the
still in the
social
social
media
media
realm.
world.
I'm talking
Translating
about
that to
somebody
the world.
accuses him of something and then he therefore acts different.
Yeah, we just saw it in this game 5.
No, this was about a closeout game. This was about looking at the guys around that locker room and saying, Klay Thompson's playing with a strained hamstring. DeMarcus Cousins is playing with a bad quad. Andre Iguodala is playing with a bad calf. How can I not strap it up and go out there and do the same for them and risk it? To me, that had a lot more to do with his decision and the sports culture of, I don't want to walk away from this opportunity of winning 3 in a row. It's that.
Yeah.
Damn my future. Damn my health tomorrow. I'm going to play for today. That's what we consider as noble. Even the Warriors, Joe Lacob said, we respect that he did this. I take great issue with that. No,
that
you
was a
should regret,
passive-aggressive shot, yeah.
without question.
Yeah.
But that's the whole mentality that he is surrounded by, and that's what he was answering to.
Okay, but Rick, here's what I believe, Rick and Marcel. If you turn off social media, if we could go back 10 years and there's no social media, I think he makes a different decision.
I think he makes the
today.
Exact same. Give me some evidence why it would be different.
Because again, I'm looking at athletes make different decisions. There's an athlete
I agree with that.
named Kawhi Leonard who's not a part of social media, and I think that's why he was able to make the decisions he did in San Antonio. That's a guy that basically, a lot of these, they put on headphones, they block out the world. KD's not one of those guys. I'm looking at college football players, kids. You know, them bowl games, coach, and but y'all can keep that. I'm good. I'm looking at guys make decisions they never used to make, and now they have the leverage to.
It's just peer pressure. That's a lot of social media peer pressure. And what you said, Rick, is spot on. Yes, I think because he loves the game, he loves his guys. He sees, he's aware. And when you're aware, not just aware in the locker room, you're aware of social media. You're aware of everything that's going on. So us, Marcellus, like I said before, us learning how to play through pain, learning that my other guys are out there and they're going to lay it out, I'm going to do that. Now, mix that with my social media situation that's going on.
Yeah.
And now this Kawhi Leonard, he ignores a lot of stuff.
Okay, let me get this
Kevin,
on.
don't ignore those things. I think that's what put the pressure
Let's not
on.
make Kawhi Leonard analogous to KD in this moment. First of all, that wasn't a championship moment for Kawhi. He tapped out of a
Right.
regular season,
Right.
and he was misdiagnosed. So him being misdiagnosed second time around, I've learned from that experience. KD, going forward, coming around next time, he's going to learn from this
He was
experience.
misdiagnosed, but he had a second opinion. KD didn't get a second opinion.
No, KD had his own team of doctors, so it's not even second opinion. It's like someone has to be in alignment to what you're saying. That said, this whole era change because of social media, I disapprove of that line of demarcation for this. Back in your day, back in the day before yours, 80s, early 90s, those guys were deemed tougher. And we deemed them tougher because, you know what? It seemed like they fought through everything. You know why they did? Because they didn't have any options.
You didn't have no options.
And you know what we got
You didn't have no
now?
options.
We're smarter. But that doesn't mean we're softer. We're just smarter.
You're not only smarter,
But that's my
but
point.
you're more financially secure.
That's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
point.
you
This
got
is
the
the
point.
distinction.
That's
Yeah,
my point.
that's
Because
the point.
again, I think
But that's not social media influenced.
But I think
That's bank account and me understanding the game.
They have more options and they're making different decisions. They have more power, more leverage, and they're making different decisions. And again, I said sports culture is soft, but I'm also saying it has to be because you now have more leverage. You're making so much money. The decision, even just Kevin Durant, $35, $40 million on the line per year. Of course, and Kawhi.
But he rolled the dice on
Why
that.
would anybody ever call Kevin soft? He's never been soft.
Well,
I don't
we
like-
know it's out there.
I
mean,
don't like. I would never
no, he
call
was called
Kevin
a
Durant.
cupcake
We-
coming out
cupcakes.
of Oklahoma City.
That's
because
about
he wouldn't-
going switching.
I mean, I just think that
teams.
was feelings. I don't think that's who he is. Who he is
Well, I
he's a
agree with
beast.
that, but that's what he was accused
That's
of.
accused, right?
Right.
I mean, whether
That's
you think
about,
he's
Right.
but
bad or
again,
not.
Right,
that's
right.
about decision making with team. In terms of his physical toughness on the court, I don't think that's ever really been questioned.
But we blend those two. And the thing, going back to the financial aspect of it, and I was struck by this because I talked to Will Blackman, and I've noticed a lot of NFL players it doesn't, like you go out and play. Like you don't think about the physical ramifications. Well, it's because most NFL players are not in the place of an NBA player.
Right.
Yes.
The money is guaranteed.
Right.
So I need to figure out how do I handle my career long term because I'm good right now. For an NFL player, you don't show up for work. You're not getting paid. Chances are you're getting cut.
Let's add some nuance to that because again, it's like Carson Wentz just got a contract with $107 million guaranteed dollars. Is the whole contract guaranteed? No.
No.
But the top echelon of the NFL, those signing bonuses guarantee your contracts for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
You don't get the long-term 5-year deals that are guaranteed like the NBA. But there are some guarantees for the top players in the NFL. And look, I'm looking at NFL players make different decisions. Nobody's cutting off a pinky finger anymore, and no one's being celebrated if they do.
Well, you know why? Let me tell you real. Let me testify for a second. My situation, I had a back surgery, played through it because it was my contract year. Boom, got paid. Went to San Diego, broke my foot before the first game. Sitting there, that pressure, passive aggressive, every teammate. You just got $40 million, Wiley, and you're not going to play? All right, I get it. Must be nice to be you. Coach is looking at you like, wow, you're not going to earn your keep, but hey, we see you next year. All those jokes made me get a surgery when I was secure. Get a surgery, played through that with 1 foot, didn't practice one time. Guess what? Made the Pro Bowl. Uh-oh, I'm on top of the world. Back surgery, no foot, I'm killing the game. Guess what it did to me? pushed me so close to the edge. I went south, game over, compensation, injury after injury. And my point is, NFL players will plow through it without the foresight. Thank God there's now an Andrew Luck who said, I ain't plowing through this shoulder injury. Right. Thank God there was a Kawhi Leonard. I'm not plowing through it. But I'm just trying to make sure we make a distinction between learning the game and learning what your followers are saying on social media. Because I wasn't influenced by social media.
I just think it's more
and I don't think the Andrew Luck was.
But I just think it's more influential because at the end of the day, when we got bullied, when we were younger, it was a dude walking down the street with his friends and you was by yourself. That was the bullying. Now the bullying is what?
Cyber.
On social media.
Cyber.
Right. So how can you bully me on social media if it's on social? You're not touching me.
Yeah.
So we looking at it like that. All you gotta do is turn it off, right? So that's just kind of like what I'm saying. When you have so many people talking to you, and every single day you wake up early in the morning, and the first thing you look at is that your program. Not only because we're athletes, but your program to not just listen to your peers and the coaches and your executives. You're listening to people who really don't matter.
Of affirmation.
Let me give you another one, Marcellus.
Give it to me.
That I think, and we'll get into it here in the next segment, but we'll touch it here briefly. Just imagine you're an experienced member of the media now, 10 years, Rick 30 years, me 30 years, you know. And so we understand the noise. But imagine when the people closest to you who have no experience are also, let me jump on social media. Baby, did you hear they said this? KD's mother on social media. Draymond's mama on social media. Steph Curry's wife on social media. Everybody, it's the whole family is waking up, checking.
You hear what they say?
You hear what they say, blah, blah. And that and again, that's, you know, my parents are older and people, but people I get close to me. I don't want them involved in the social media thing at all. I actually like, oh, you don't watch my show? You don't know nothing about me? You don't know nothing about this world? That's a positive, because I don't want to hear none of it when I come home.
Yeah, I will say this, Whitlock, to that. I give this entire generation a pass because they are first generation social media.
Right.
There are no elders that can game you about social media.
Right.
So especially when your elder is actually on your level playing field, playing the game with you, you're not an elder statesman. You have no more wisdom and experience in this than I do. So they're both the windshield. And we know what happens to the windshield. It gets all the bugs, right? And that's what's happening right now. But I do give them a pass in that experience since they're all going through it for the first time.
It comes down to this. If the locker room was telling KD, brah, don't play, we got this. If the team was saying, don't play, we got this, it wouldn't matter what social media said. But they weren't.
Exactly.
The two were in tandem.
Right.
They were both saying KD needs to play.
Reach.
All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley. Cuttino Mobley and Rick Bucher are back. Time now for a big story. Let's move to Kevin Durant, who is yet to face the media since his Achilles injury Monday night. But that hasn't stopped his mother, Wanda, from weighing in. Right after the injury, she took to Twitter to cry her son's critics. And now she's taking it up a notch, appearing on Good Morning America today and calling out the Warriors' medical staff.
The doctors said that he was okay. Kevin couldn't have gone on his own to say, I'm going to play without the advisement of the doctors. And so they said that he was okay. And so, you know,
he's
a
man.
Responsibility for him playing.
All right, the question here, okay with KD's mom addressing his injury on national TV. And I'll just say, I wish she wouldn't. You know, there used to be an era where all the parents and uncles and everybody wasn't a part of the story and didn't have a voice in the stories. And maybe there's some value to that. Sometimes, you know, saying less is more.
The times have changed, Mr. Whitlock. This is a good cop, bad cop situation brewing right now, potential lawsuit as well as I'm reading through the tea leaves of this. First of all, the optics. She's doing an interview. Didn't need the content, didn't really get much from the content. But you know what I got? An opposing opinion from the narrative that is starting to shape coming from Golden State and its controlled messaging. Remember, Bob Myers, I'm the only one talking about this. Remember, team of doctors. So who knows what conflicts occurred in that prognosis and diagnosis. So what you're starting to see is someone saying, hey, there's just an opposing force out there that may have a difference of opinion. But you got to remember, his landscape potentially has changed forever. So if that's the case, and I was given bad information, oh, we have something to talk about. So right now, I think KD and his mom are playing a little good cop, bad cop. KD put out the fun-loving, hey, tequila, life shot, go boys, win game 6. Mama's like, well, there's some things that, sounded a little different. We'll see how this plays out, but certainly I can feel the contention in the air.
Yeah, the difficulty is that there's just been so much gray area here. We're not clear on where the Warriors are. Was it a calf injury? Was it the Achilles? Were they connected? How did he get better? How bad was it? And to have Mama come out on Good Morning America, and now we hadn't heard from her forever. Mm-hmm. There hasn't even been a defined diagnosis. I've been hearing since this morning that he's already had surgery. Now, I haven't been able to confirm that with the Warriors or with Kevin Durant's camp, but that's where it's more uncertainty. So to have Mom jumping in, this is yet another voice when I'm not even sure what the connection is between KD and his mom right now. That's not clearly defined.
Where's Rich Kleiman? He's paid to handle this.
Yeah, well, somebody needs to be stepping forward and taking the reins from both sides of the equation, and it doesn't sound like that's the case.
And, it's his first generation again, like you were saying, Marcellus, right? And in the last segment, this is a first-generation thing where the parents are more outspoken, the LeVar Bells, the moms of the world, and blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't want my mom speaking out, especially when it's a gray area like this, because at first I thought it was just a calf, and it takes at least 60 days because I've done it 3 times. You've done it yourself.
Yes.
It comes to find out now it's an Achilles. Was it the Achilles the first time? I don't know. So to go out there and speak so soon and have all these speculations.
But that's the genius in it. The genius in it is, 1, Mom goes out there, sympathetic figure, who's going to attack Mom fully. 2, she knows the onions. She knows the layers. She knows what her son was going through all through this process. She talked to KD 5 minutes after the injury the other night. What that tells me is someone from our side needs to just poke their head out there just a little, say, maybe difference of opinion is coming based on what this landscape looks like going forward.
Look, I've said this forever, for the last, I'd say, 15 years. The sports world is becoming just like the Hollywood world. You got a lot of stage parents. We expect it in Hollywood, and they're all involved, and they never let go, and things get muddy and messy. And so, again, where's Rich Kleiman? Because we heard B.J. Armstrong yesterday say he had some heart-to-heart conversations with Derrick Rose and talked Derrick Rose into making different decisions. I want to hear from Rich Kleiman. What was his conversations like with Kevin Durant? He's the guy that's supposed to be with some expertise and helping him navigate this situation. Mama can love you and do the best she can, but I don't think she's ever laced him up. She has no experience in this world. Tiger Woods returns to Pebble Beach, the site of his most dominant major win, while Brooks Koepka is looking to make history as he attempts to capture his 3rd straight championship. The U.S. Open begins tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern on FS1 and continues on Fox at 7:30 Eastern, or watch it all on the Fox Sports app. All right, welcome back, Whitlock and Wiley. We are joined now by Fox Sports golf analyst Brad Faxon, who is at Pebble Beach for this week's U.S. Open. All right, Brad, I want to start here. My contention, Tiger at 43, much more strategic and picks and chooses the tournaments he feels like he can win. I don't think he thought he could win at Bethpage Black in the PGA Championship. I do think he circled the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach as a course that would work for him. I think the reason he didn't play before the PGA is because he didn't take it that serious, played the Memorial because he believes he can win here. Your reaction?
No doubt about it. But first of all, I want to tell you, you're going to give this Koepka another little edge here by slighting him again and not talking about him before you talk about Tiger Woods.
I'm good with that.
Okay, I know. That'll be. We need him to make history. But listen, Tiger Woods knows this place better than any golfer in the championship, save maybe Phil Mickelson, who's another great story. But what's going to help Tiger here the most is it's a course that you don't have to hit a lot of drivers on. And Tiger didn't drive it that well at Bethpage. He played a good last round of the Memorial, like you said. But if he can hit 3 woods, if he can get in the fairway, we know that he's the best iron player on the tour. He's leading the tour this year in greens and regulation, which is a huge stat out here at Pebble Beach, and these small, tiny greens. So he's putting well. We just showed at the end of the show, we were watching his group play today with Jordan Spieth and Kevin Kistner, and Tiger was just rolling in putt after putt. He looked really comfortable.
Now, Whitlock was there in 2000 when Tiger Woods won by 15 strokes. Says it was a magical moment. Looked that way from television. Can Tiger recapture that energy, that moment this weekend?
No doubt about it. And one of the things that we know for certain was after he won the Masters, he celebrated for a while. He had a bunch of time off, and his next event he played was the PGA Championship, like you said on the opening. And he took 5 weeks off, played a PGA, which was moved from August into May. So I don't think he was ready to play mentally or physically. It showed in the way the way he looked and walked. Now he's had a break. He went back to the Memorial Tournament. He's won several times and very comfortable, and he's the same way here.
All right, Brad, we can jump right ahead to Brooks Koepka because, look, I love Brooks. I'm someone that believes it is fair to compare Koepka to Woods. I didn't believe that about Rory. I didn't believe it about Jordan Spieth. I do believe it about Brooks Koepka. What do you think it's fair to compare him to peak Tiger Woods?
Well, I don't know if you can compare anybody to peak Tiger Woods yet. Now, he has that tenacity that Tiger has. He can dig in and he gets more comfortable looking when the heat's on him. The one thing that he's going to get mad at me for saying this that he hasn't done yet is he hasn't won on these tighter golf courses. Now, I could say Bethpage was certainly tight and there was a lot of rough there. He's got the strength to muscle it out of the rough. But this course is a little bit more strategic. Sheer power doesn't win here at Pebble Beach. You've got to be, stellar with iron play, incredible with little chip shots and shots around these greens. And there's rough. When you I'm just looking up the fourth fairway here. If you miss by a little bit, there's some really steep, thick grass, and then it gets a little higher, and sometimes by the green it's almost unplayable. So you can have some bad luck here, and Koepka's, he's got his work cut out for him because the pressure of playing for these 3 Opens in a row. We saw what it did to Curtis Strange in '88 and '89. We learned about Willie Anderson, the only player that's done it, and that was in 1903 through 1905. So Koepka's got a lot on his plate this week.
Look, the only thing I question Koepka about, you got to sustain it because that's what made Tiger and Jack Nicklaus Jack Nicklaus. The other thing I would question about him, though, is I think he's unwilling to carry the load that Jack and Tiger did during what we call the regular season, the rest of the tour. He gets up for the big majors. That's my knock on him, is does he want the responsibility of being the true face of golf?
Well, he can't answer that question you just asked. He's won six tournaments out of in his career. He's won 4 of them in major championships, 4 of the last 8, as a matter of fact, which is incredible. And that's Herculean or Woods-like. But he's got to be able to contend throughout the season. By the time Tiger had won 4 majors, I'd have to look to be exact, but I imagine he'd won over 20 tournaments by then. So Koepka needs to get in the picture more the other times. And it's something he's brought himself too. He goes, he doesn't know why he hasn't won more, because when he's won his majors, he's made it look pretty easy.
Now, are you buying Koepka? He isn't thinking about the three-peat, as he says?
Well, I mean, he's got a strong mind. I'm sure he's heard enough of it by now, and when he gets on the first tee, he's going to, he'll be able to relax and say, you know what, he gets his solitude inside of the ropes instead of having to listen to what the media is doing. But if he is in contention on Sunday, and it will be brought up again and again, he's going to feel that heat.
Now, what other names should we look out for this weekend outside of Tiger and Brooks Koepka, obviously?
Well, there's so many great stories. Mickelson, second time.
Go ahead.
I was with a guy last night. I'm going to leave this guy nameless that played some golf with Phil last week, and he said he hit it all over the place, looked awful, short game was bad, didn't play well, and that's the Mickelson that we love. You don't know he's going to use 2 drivers maybe this week on a course that most players might not hit more than 3 or 4 drives the whole day. So. He won this year at Pebble Beach in 2019. There's only 2 players that ever won the U.S. Open and the Pebble Beach tournament the same year, and that's Jack and Tiger. Phil would love that. He'll use that for some motivation. He loves Pebble Beach. He likes the golf course conditions as they are right now. And in the last few days, and really every minute we watch, things are drying up. They're firming up. The ball's not bouncing it's bouncing harder than it was, on Monday. And Phil doesn't want to get too tough because he's going to be hitting a lot of shots out of the rough because his accuracy off the tee is not great right now. But he'll be able to hit a lot of iron shots and a lot of 3-woods. I love Rory McIlroy. I mean, McIlroy shot 61
not gonna happen.
Sunday.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You don't like any pick, I think.
I'm about to tell you what's going to happen.
I'll tell you what. I'll take Rory McIlroy. You can pick whoever you want. Patrick Cantley is a good pick. He won the Memorial 2 weeks ago.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Go ahead. Brad, let me tell you what's going to happen.
Anybody named Tiger Woods not going to happen?
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
I'll
Brad.
take the
No.
field.
Brad, here's what I want you to do. I'm
Okay.
on my way to Pebble Beach. I'll be there at 8 o'clock. Here's the bet I want to make with you. And I'm on a hot streak. The PGA, on Wednesday before the PGA, I said Tiger won't make the cut. Brooks Koepka's going to be dominant.
He did.
I said that. I can send you the essay.
He did.
Okay.
There's three people that can win this tournament this weekend. Give me these three guys. You can have the rest of the field. We got $100 on it. I want Tiger, I want Koepka, and I want Dustin Johnson. You can have everybody
Dustin
else.
in there, and he's a great pick. I think Dustin Johnson is a real story here. He's got Butch Harmon, who went into, his longtime coach, kind of went into retirement. He's been on the range with Dustin. Dustin's taken this seriously. He will be in contention on Sunday. I can guarantee it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Justin Rose. Is that not going to happen?
I can't go that strong on that one.
Hey, Brad,
it's not gonna happen.
give me the top 3 golfers you have the field. I think I win. That's easy money right there, Jason. That wasn't a bet.
So you get Tiger, Brooks, and Dustin. I'll take McIlroy, Cantley, and I'll throw Rose in there, and we'll go at it.
Oh,
Casa Dragones.
That in a landslide. I'll see you in a bit. Thank you, Brad.
You owe him some money.
Welcome to Speak for Yourself, the most fun you can have talking sports. We're joined now by the NFL Network's Bucky Brooks.
Man, that Twitter off is real.
You need this over at the NFL Network, don't you? You need it. All right, time to get antisocial. Darnell, I like the shirt. What you got?
Aaron Donald, man, he reminds me of myself when I used to play.
Nah, no part of that. No, you the fake one. He the real one.
Strong, explosive, undersized. Come on now.
Did you make that many plays out there? I mean, I'm just.
Let's show this one highlight.
It's more on there, man.
His highlight tape starts with a tackle for loss for 1 yard. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you ain't got nothing better than that to start the tape with?
You better Google me.
Oh, Twitter off.
We're going to start off with the Whitlock challenge today, man. So,
Yeah, the Whitlock challenge.
yeah, fans have been submitting their best version of Whitlaws, and this one right here is one of my favorite ones. Check it out.
I love Speak for Yourself. It's the most fearless show in sports. And the Whitlock is my favorite segment because I love analogies. Jason is like Mr. Miyagi when it comes to analogies. Or maybe he's LeBron or the Ultimate Warrior or Beyonce. Anyway, that's why I created Whitlock Analogy Bingo. Because it's fun to follow along. Now, when Whit says Katie is a steroid or Russell Westbrook is like broccoli because nobody likes him, or Tom Brady is the hiccups because he never goes away, I just check it off. Want to play along? Check the comment section below.
All right, man, huge shout out to Barry Brothers over Twitter. I want to ask you guys, though, what's your approval ratings on this? GOAT status, all-star, role player, scout team, or dumpster
I'm
fire?
going 85.
85?
I got him at a GOAT status. That was, because look, we've had a lot of entries for this.
Yeah.
That was the best one by far.
Oh, best one by far. That's why I thought you were a little light on your grade, and I gave him a 91. I wanted to give him 100 until I realized, one, that's not a Whitlock. Answer the damn question, dog. Like, give me something of opinion. So he over here just loving Whitlock.
I mean, you just like because your name is on it.
I know,
I thought he was
right,
going to
right.
wax poetic, so I was a little hard on him. I gave him a 60. I gave him role player status because I just expected a lot. Because when I tune in, I'm watching you, I'm expecting to see this long soliloquy. He didn't.
No,
really
you only
give
get
me.
30 seconds. We ain't going to let him go forever, but he does need to give an opinion.
Give an
I like
opinion,
it.
bro.
All right.
Next time.
All right, moving on to the Raiders, who recently announced that they'll be the team featured on HBO's Hard Knocks this year. With the additions of Vontaze Burfict, Richie Incognito, and of course Antonio Brown. Fans can't wait to see how this comes together. The Raiders seem to be excited about this as well, putting out a tweet saying, everybody wants to be a Raider. Now they'll find out what it takes to become one. Will this be the best Hard Knocks ever?
Hell yeah, live from Folsom. It's going down. It's gonna be, the QB camp with just Gruden and Chucky alone was enough for me, let alone you add all these cats, AB, Vontaze, Richie. Oh, it's crazy. It's over.
I think it's too big of a cast. I think it's too many different superstars. I like a little more narrow focus. It's kind of like how a lot of people, the Game of Thrones, the reason why it ended terribly is because there was just too many different storylines.
I get that.
I mean, this is made for TV, though. You have two TV personalities in prominent roles. John Gruden as a head coach, Mike Mayock as a general manager.
Good point.
Those conversations on TV, they're going to be played up. This is going to be a nice one.
AB.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Perfect.
I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, right.
It's
the
a lot.
road to 4-12. I can't wait. I'm all in on this 4-12 thing. Next.
All right, guys, sticking with football, the Jaguars have decided not to give Jalen Ramsey a contract extension this year. Ramsey spoke to the media and said he wasn't angry or upset that he won't be getting an extension this season, but he then challenged his inner Deion Sanders on Twitter, saying he's going to ask for so much money, they're going to have to put him on layaway. Primetime famously made that quote after he was selected 5th overall pick in the 1989 draft. So, guys, do you think this will be a distraction for the Jags this season?
Not at all. You think so?
Not this. Will
No.
Jalen Ramsey be a distraction? Yes.
No. You know what? They don't give money away. You got to go get it. So guess what? Putting this statement out, we knew what Deion was going to do once he took them 20 chains off. Ball out. This is pressure on you, Jalen Ramsey, to go out there and ball out and be consistent like you were 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it puts pressure on him, and I think he relishes the opportunity. We've seen him. Look, this is straight from the Richard Sherman playbook. Mm-hmm. What you do is you talk, you put a little attention on you, put all the eyes on you, then if you ball out,
Bucky, you know, he did that last year. He called out every
I
quarterback
did,
in the
but
league,
you know what? Sometimes you
and it
gotta
blew up in his face.
He made a Pro Bowl, though.
He made a Pro Bowl.
He made a Pro Bowl. I mean, it
Oh.
wasn't the year before, but it still was Pro Bowl.
Jaguars made the toilet bowl.
That's real. That's real. And they had a quarterback that was in it.
That's
Scotty Bowl
The
man.
thing I will give him credit for, do young people even know about layaway anymore?
No, see, that's the thing.
I was like, does he even
I don't know, because my first jacket, I bought a members-only jacket on layaway, and it took me a long time to put that down. So I don't know if young people know about that.
That's real
Yeah,
talk.
we used to have Christmases on layaway. Celebrate them on the 28th.
After payday. After payday.
Some sales.
Broke. Christmas is on
Santa
layaway.
Claus came late this
Broke.
Then my mother would hit the numbers, you know. Oh yeah. Then Christmas was popping. But anyway,
I know he over there hurting.
Reminiscing, right?
He hurt.
All right, guys. Talk about the New York Giants, where head coach Pat Shermer seems to be laying a foundation for a potential quarterback battle during training camp between Eli Manning and rookie Daniel Jones. When asked about Jones' preparedness through the offseason workouts, Shermer said he's on track to be ready to play on day one and that they were going to be playing the very best player. Shermer did reiterate that Manning is a starter, but do y'all think Daniel Jones has any chance of beating out Eli?
Absolutely. Right now, they're just testing the waters to see how the fan base responds. You can't touch Eli, man. That is a made man. So they're just testing the waters, see how it goes. And if Eli steps in it, doesn't play well, then it's going to be Daniel Jones' time. But one, you got to make sure you control this fan base and their reaction. We saw what happened last year.
Yeah, they went on and put it out there to kind of float, because we hadn't heard any of this. We had heard about the Kansas City model and how he was going to redshirt. For Pat Shermer to put this out there, Daniel Jones has either shown something or Eli Manning showed something that they didn't want to see, which is why it may be an issue.
There was a guy, I think, for NewJersey.com, Matt Lombardo, that wrote a piece a couple of months ago about the success playing a quarterback early actually leads to success. The whole model, redshirting a guy or 2 or 3 years, that doesn't work. Maybe the analytics or just the research that said, you know what? We drafted, we're gonna take the heat, let's throw him out there.
Yeah.
Maybe they're, maybe it won't be week 1, but week 6.
Look, he passes the eyeball test. Saw him at the rookie marketing event. Daniel Jones, and he can move. Like, it's a lot there if he could just, learn it upstairs, the nuances. It seems like he has a lot of talent.
Yeah, and he's not going to threaten Eli necessarily with his personality, but his athleticism and the way that he kind of manages the game.
Keep those
he certainly
plays.
he could threaten him.
Yeah.
All right, time now for Darnell's question of the day. Darnell, take it away.
All right, man. So
I think he actually got a yard on that play, too. It wasn't even a tackle for loss.
Anyway, y'all always hating on me. Yesterday on Fox, our women's U.S. soccer team put a beat down on Thailand, 13-0. And I noticed some people online was having a problem with us running up the score. So I want to ask you guys, do you have an issue with teams running up the score on inferior opponents?
Hell no. I never bought into this mentality. Soon as you step on the field, you know the deal. Until that clock goes 0, I'm trying to put up as much wattage on that scoreboard as possible. And I've been on the receiving end as well. High school, homecoming, we played Sarah. Them dudes had us 53-0 at halftime. Came out third quarter, all the starters had their shoulder pads off, macking to the cheerleaders. Put up another 3 that half. We lost 56-0. And guess what? More props to him, man. Keep pouring on the score if you can. I don't understand this whole mentality, and you can't celebrate it as well. Soon you step between the whites, it's on, bro.
13-0 in soccer
Yeah.
is damn near like 100-0 in football.
Keep it coming.
I don't think it was a good look. We look like bullies. We look like American bullies. And then all that celebrating when they were throwing on them garbage goals. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was a good look at all.
Look, man, everyone tells you, hey, act like you've been there before. But I haven't been there before.
Right.
I haven't scored a goal in the World Cup. So I'm going to celebrate. I think you have to celebrate your successes. Look, these ladies have worked so hard to get to this point. Let them celebrate. Look, 13-0, I can't coach my team and your team. I don't get paid enough. So it's on you to slow us down.
You know we're the defending World Cup champions.
Yeah, so you know what? I go back because when I was at Carolina, Anson Dorrance talked about it. He said, sometimes you want to beat people so they know that you're not playing games. And so he's letting them know we're not about these games.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love the ladies.
Yeah,
putting it
that
on
scores for the next round.
Yeah, let them know.
We
Let 'em
coming,
know.
baby.
It's bigger
And
than you.
It's every 4 years. It's a lot of pinned up energy for these ladies. Let's celebrate. And I don't like your mentality of enough is enough. What threshold is enough is enough? Because there are epic comebacks, not 13, but there are epic comebacks. So a coach who says, okay, we're up 6-0, let's calm down. You never know.
But Marcel, I do think you're underestimating how big of a lead 13-0 is.
Oh, it's huge. The
It-
men never scored over 3 in any of the games. I get it. I know this.
So again, this is 100-0.
Take that,
And you're
take
out
that,
there
take that.
celebrating.
Take that.
And you're,
We're trying to create habits. So I'm coaching, I'm saying, hey, you got to play hard, you got to finish the game.
Yeah.
So now we have an opportunity to finish the game.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to let up.
Yeah.
You don't want those habits to come in. You got to play it all the way to the end.
Play all the way.
Play all 90.
Man, when you're doing the Whitlogs, that word count, you hit that next word, you go in. Do you stop? It's 100-0 on the Whitlog.
We gotta finish
Do you
it.
stop? Right. No, you keep banging.
Tino Mobley and Rick Bucher are back. Let's return to the NBA, sponsored by the Capital One Saver Card. What's in your wallet? All right, the Lakers have emerged this week as the frontrunners to land Anthony Davis in a trade this offseason, with reports surfacing that the Knicks are unwilling to part with major assets. Davis's agent, Rich Paul, is also doing his best to skew things in LA's favor, saying in Sports Illustrated that AD would only play in Boston until 2020 if he's traded there, and shooting down the idea that New Orleans doesn't want to deal with the Lakers, saying, quote, see, everybody wants to fabricate the facts when it's me. That's just like saying, no, A-Rod don't marry J-Lo. Are you out of your effing mind, man? This is Jennifer Lopez, I mean. Who would you rather me marry? The Lakers or Jennifer Lopez? You don't want me to date Jennifer Lopez? Give me a reason I shouldn't date J-Lo. Better on the market.
You walk down them streets lately?
Listen, is AD making a mistake singling in only wanting to play for the Lakers?
Look, Rich Paul, he's making a mistake calling the Lakers J-Lo. The Lakers are not aging like fine wine like J-Lo is. I mean, they're more of the singer that used to make them hits, changed the production team, and can't get a banger out. Like, where the good songs go? That's the Lakers right now. On the court, look, he's still talking Knicks, Lakers. Obviously, we know they're zeroed in on the Lakers if they get that package going. It's smart. The Lakers brand, as dusty as it is right now, can easily be dusted off. Right. And I think it will be next year. You bring AD with LeBron, Golden State now hindered with no Kevin Durant, one way or the other. Oh, it's wide open in the West. So, yeah, they can restore the lore, but right now, there's certainly no J-Lo.
If you were just adding AD to the package, I would agree with you. But you're going to have to give some pieces up.
Good point.
And I like the idea of AD playing with LeBron because he's not a number one. That's my concern. How much longer is LeBron going to be there? And can Anthony Davis carry the load once LeBron is not in the picture? Hasn't been able to do it in New Orleans. What have they been able to do? So ultimately now you're in a big market that expects that from its stars, and if you can't carry that weight, you're in trouble. One of the reasons the Knicks and everybody else is a little slow to put something out there is because my understanding is AD's not willing to commit long-term to anything. Lakers included.
Really?
I'll go there. I got a year to see how it goes. Knicks are thinking, okay, if it goes badly, LeBron gets hurt, that thing goes down, he's back on the open market, we could get him for free. We could get him the way that the Lakers originally planned to get him, which is we don't have to give up any assets. As is, if you're clearing the bank, if you're no Lonzo Ball, no Kyle Kuzma, no whatever it may be, no number 4 pick, and You get AD for that, I'm not sure how measurably better you actually are.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's a mistake him going there. But if you have to give up all those pieces, like Rick said, I don't like that. AD, when he was in New Orleans, he didn't push the envelope there. So for him to come to LA and try to push an envelope with all those banners sitting up there, that's a lot more pressure. I'd rather him, yes, see him with LeBron. And then maybe have another all-star coming in there, like a Kyrie Irving or someone else. Because when LeBron fades off, then you have that nucleus right there. But then you got to give up. You're going to give up some of them young guys. I love Lonzo Ball. I always love Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
But you may have to give. Yeah,
They don't do that. They don't do that.
But you may have. Yeah, you've been looking for me. But you may have to give up Lonzo Ball.
Oh, you definitely.
You know, because Lonzo Ball with Zion in New Orleans looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the best tandem in terms of guard defense.
Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday?
Oh, my God. Good luck getting the ball up court.
I love that because that defensive backcourt back there with Zion in the front court, I love that. But then you have AD and hopefully Kyrie and LeBron. I love that too. I don't think it's hurting them.
I'm interested in both of you. Neither one of you seem to think Anthony Davis is a number one.
Oh.
No.
Tell me why is that? The numbers say so.
Rick, the numbers are skewed. The numbers, I've seen AD get 45 points, 17 rebounds, and 9 blocks, and you still lose.
Bingo.
He's been doing that for 7 years. So I'm telling you, as an NBA player, it doesn't matter about that. It's how you affect the game, and you can affect the game with 9 blocks and 15 rebounds and 45 points. You should be winning the games.
Yeah.
Your record should be a lot better than what it is. You only been in the playoffs twice.
Here's the distinction. Tim Duncan never got these monstrous numbers.
Right.
He just got winning numbers.
Exactly.
His 23 points were the most important 23 points. His 15 rebounds were the most important 15 rebounds. Kevin Love got monstrous numbers in Minnesota. They never sniffed the playoffs.
Exactly.
That for me, those numbers are hollow. If you have the kind of talent that Anthony Davis has, and I'm not saying he's not talented, immensely talented, but it's when and where you take over that game and how you take that challenge.
Yes.
You add the fact that he hasn't been able to stay healthy, and I put that together. But the Jennifer Lopez comparison, I actually think is somewhat apt.
Let me hear
it's
this.
It's just not a compliment.
No, let's hear this.
I like that.
J-Lo hasn't put an album out in what, 5 years?
More than
and she's a producer. Like she has influence. What? Because of her brand.
Yeah.
Not what she's actually
I got caught up in the brand.
producing,
You're right. Yeah. And the Las Vegas show, I went. It's amazing.
You like
I
it,
love
huh?
me some
Yeah,
J-Lo.
she got me here and not here anymore.
She always got me there.
I'm thinking more Ashanti or something, you know? Like, that's what the Lakers are. Like, you ain't even.
Ashanti?
Yeah, used to kill it. And now you can't put nothing out right now. That's the Lakers on the court. I'm thinking Tony Braxton, anybody? Like, no. Like, they used to run it, and now they're not. But
like
J-Lo is still running it. Lakers are not running it.
All right, before we go,
Here you go.
I'd like to explain in a bit more detail why I have a problem with the way social justice Warriors coach Steve Kerr handled the Kevin Durant tragedy. When asked by a reporter Monday night if he had any regrets about playing KD, Kerr dodged the question.
Anthony Slater with The Athletic. Is there any regrets about bringing Kevin back into the series now with what happened?
Again, I'm going to leave that to Bob.
Yesterday, NBC Sports' Tom Haberstroh published a story filled with medical experts questioning Kerr's strategy of playing Durant 12 of the first 14 minutes of an NBA Finals game after Durant sat out of basketball for more than a month. Haberstroh quoted a longtime director of performance as saying, "Just seems unacceptable. Doesn't make any sense." The Warriors proceeded without caution when it came to Kevin Durant, who was expected to leave the Golden State this offseason. But listen to what Steve Kerr said about sitting Klay Thompson during Game 3.
I never would have forgiven myself if I played him tonight and he had gotten hurt. So you live with the decision. You make a wise decision, the wisest one you can, then you live with it and you move forward.
Unlike Kevin Durant, Thompson isn't expected to leave Golden State this offseason. As you're watching this show, Kerr and the Warriors are talking to the media covering the NBA Finals in the Bay. I'm sure he's being asked about his Game 5 no-limit soldier strategy with Durant. I hope Kerr is as talkative about Durant as he is on political issues. Kerr is a professional basketball coach. a high-paid high school gym teacher who loves to dazzle fawning media with political rhetoric and pot shots at the NFL.
If we're trying to combat terrorism by banishing people from coming to this country, really going against the principles of what our country's about. The shirt's a reminder that the only way we can get out of this mess is to actually vote, and to vote for people who are going to be willing to create some change in our gun laws in our country. So
basically trying to use the anthem as fake patriotism, nationalism, scaring people. It's idiotic, but that's how the NFL has handled their business.
It's going about it completely opposite. You want to solve, terror. You want to solve crime. It's not the way to do it.
In comparison to what he knows about basketball and his strategy in Game 5, Kerr knows next to nothing about politics. But when given an opportunity to virtue signal through politics, I've yet to see him defer to Bob Myers, the president of the Warriors. Steve Kerr, the great social justice warrior, is Santa Claus, a myth believed by the naive. All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley, Cuttino Mobley, and Rick Bucher are back. Let's return to some breaking news out of the NBA Finals. Kevin Durant just posted a picture on Instagram saying he ruptured his Achilles and had successful surgery today. He also wished his teammates luck in Game 6. All right, for his part, head coach Steve Kerr was asked today if he would do anything differently, and he said, quote, "Would we go back and do it over again? Damn right. But that's easy to say with the results. The Achilles came as a complete shock." All right, we'll keep this question simple. Whose statement do you like better? Kevin Durant from the hospital bed or Steve Kerr from the podium at the NBA Finals?
I don't like Steve Kerr's because when you're talking about being shocked and someone injured, affecting their prime, affecting their game, and the damn right, it's kind of like there's a thorn with that. There's a harsh, like concrete conviction with that, which may have, for me, different reasons for saying it so strongly. And I don't like that because I think there's a sensitivity that should be played in your conversation, in your words, and your expressions for somebody who's taken a greater loss than you. But damn right seems like it may be playing for a narrative out there that is saying that the Golden State Warriors knew more about the injury or the injury was more than what was being explained. So that kind of triggered me. Easy money sniper, hey, you went to New York, supposed to get some work done, supposed to get looked at, things changed. So I'm not so mad at that, but Steve Kerr kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, Steve's statement is defiant.
Yeah.
We did the right thing.
No. I think he's saying, in retrospect, we would have done it differently had we known but that's easy to say with the results.
Would we go back and do it over again, meaning we would do it different?
Yes, that's what I think he's trying to convey, yes.
What's funny to me is what you're saying, we would do it different. What I took from that, when that reporter asked him the question, he said he deferred to Bob.
Right.
Meaning to me, just to me, meaning I wasn't okay with that anyway. That's to me. I could be totally wrong because you're so outspoken in everything else, you should be outspoken in this. So that means that you were kind of by yourself or you even thought in your head, I don't think he's ready or something else is going on.
You played him 12 or 14 minutes, his actions.
Right, but you play a person 12 or 14 minutes because sometimes, even though I feel confident in my conviction, doesn't mean when that guy's if he's giving me 4 or 5 sacks in the first half, no matter what it is, I'm keeping him in because he's a baller. If I take him out, he's gonna be mad at me.
But you also don't want to take out a guy who's returning from injury because you don't want him to get cold. Like
that's another point.
You got to keep him out there for longer
that's
duration.
That's the point. He had 3 threes in the first quarter.
Yeah.
This is the other part. What I don't like is that we have these two different statements. We still don't have a collective approach.
Right.
Last I checked, Kevin Durant is still part of the Golden State Warriors. And for all the different things.
No, he's in New York.
Well, he's in New York, but technically till July 1, he is under the guise of the Golden State Warriors. Can we all collectively, this is a serious enough issue and injury, and there have been enough questions up to this point. Can we get everybody on the same page, and can we answer this collectively, or
They're
are we
not
going to
getting
just?
along, Rick.
Yeah, Rick. Here's the
just don't
thing.
seem
This
like
is why damn right triggers me. Say I lead you guys and say, hey, man, let's back in grade school, high school, let's ditch school and have some fun out there. And something happens, get hit by a car or something bad when you gotta. Oh God. And then if someone says, wow, would you do the same thing again? No one would say yes to that, and no one would say damn right to even put an exclamation to that. Because of result, you want to change course. Because of result, you would say something different. Or even if you don't want to change your decision, the results will make you soften how you express that. I don't like when you just, damn right, and then you didn't come out and say it. The reason they didn't come out and say it, I feel from my experiences, is because the messaging wasn't clear. It wasn't concise. It wasn't congruent. There were too many arms and hands in the mix of the pot of what Kevin Durant's injury was. So since we don't know exactly what we're going to say, only you're going to say it, and we'll kind of take cover from that.
The other part here is if you read it in full, what KD is saying, he's talking about his brothers. He's talking about the guys in the locker room. There's no talk about the team collective. There's no, I feel like there's a line being drawn here. This would be a great opportunity to say, hey, I took the risk, or mention something about the advice that the doctors gave him.
Yeah.
He avoids all of that. I played because that's what I do, and because I wanted to help my brothers. And he walks that particular line. Nothing about some of the questions about what the advice was, what the medical advice was, where he stands with the team. And he well could have answered that, because he has to know as well as we do. That's the big question going forward.
Let me say this, and this is why I agree with you. The My Brothers deal is, I think,
that's a separation.
Key. Yes, because he has heard, he didn't see it, but he's certainly probably seen videos of Bob Myers crying on TV and looking distraught and blah, blah, blah. So he could recognize that. The owner of the team has made some comments. He could recognize that. Steve Kerr, he could say something about his coach. He's good with his teammates, but the rest of y'all, he's got some questions about. And this is a very smart statement. He doesn't take any direct shots, but anybody closely looking at this will know that there's some separation between he and the organization. He's in New York. This isn't coming from the Golden State Warriors organization, team doctors, staff. Hey, Kevin had successful surgery. We're in the hospital with him. All these people that care, allegedly, and crying on TV, they're wherever the game's at.
Look, here we go. Bob Myers, those tears for me felt like tears of guilt. Your contribution to the catastrophe that happened on that court. Your contribution was second by a lot of other people's emotions who put the passive-aggressive pressure on KD, who gave him the overt pressure. Whatever it is, that was the reaction I felt when I saw that injury post-game. 20 minutes ago, Steve Kerr came out and said there are no updates on Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant posted on his Instagram within this span. Mama is on Good Morning America. I told you it's an onion. Mama's gonna be good cop. Be bad cop. KD gonna be good cop. Say nothing. Keep it close to the vest. We're gonna figure this out, because we know damn well we didn't say the same thing going into this, because this wouldn't be the result.
It's such a gray area from Steve, like I said before, to defer to Bob as far as the question and then say damn right. It's just so confusing to me. It's hard for me to get my finger on it to understand exactly what's going on. But like what you guys are saying, especially Jason, when you're talking about, like, he's just for his boys. Everybody else, like, it's some confusion.
Something
it's some
happens
bumping
to
of the
you,
heads.
I'm not
It's something
coming
going
over
on.
your house saying I would do it again, or damn right. When I'm talking to someone who is just victimized, someone who went through it, I soften that expression, and for some reason they won't.
Look, he says, I wanted to be out there that night because that's what I do. I wanted to help my teammates on our quest for a three-peat. This is where I do agree with Richard. Every athlete can relate to that. Can relate to that without question. I'm even sitting here now thinking about, before my senior year at Ball State, I had a torn ACL. I can remember being in the doctor's office saying, please don't say my ACL's torn. And when the guy came back and told me it was stretched, I celebrated.
Right.
I celebrated. It was torn.
Right.
I played all season on a torn ACL and had the surgery after the season. But I've been in that where you want to prove a point to everybody. All right, Uncle Jimmy's here.
There it is.
Uncle Jimmy,
Oh.
your thoughts on the show so far?
Oh, Laffy Taffy over there.
That's right.
You got belly
Magic
button.
Don Juan, go ahead.
Man.
A mess.
Hey, man, listen here. Let's go ahead and get to the big dummy of the day.
Yeah.
Give it.
Big dummy of the day go to whoever was got in their feelings talking about, oh, they shouldn't have beat them 13-1. Hey, man, we Americans. You don't like it? Stop us.
They ain't even get one.
There you go.
Kneel.
13 nil.
It's the reason it's called an ass whooping.
All right.
World Cup.
Here's a highlight from our discussion earlier about Kevin Durant.
Kneel.
Durant is a cautionary tale about social media addiction. That's the story here. We're all, to some degree, addicted to the noise coming from our so-called smartphones.
That knocking gets louder and louder. It clouds your judgment. It clouds your vision. You cave into that pressure to open the door to those you feel.
Very fascinating A block to the show. A lot of good discussion. We talked sports culture, soft, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Uncle Jimmy, I'm sure you have a great take. What's your take?
Well, I'm sure glad that you know that I got a great take.
Contract.
But listen to me. I appreciate your compliments, Biggie Draws. But hey man, can we please stop? I mean, can we please stop with our? We done came to the. We know what happened with KD. Okay. Can we please focus on some positive? Well, you done told them what they doing wrong. Can you give them an example of something they doing wrong? Can we talk about Kawhi Leonard? Can we talk?
We can't talk about Kevin Durant. We gotta.
No. Let's focus on some positive. Can we accentuate on the positive? We've been sitting up here talking about, oh, these brothers need to do this. Hey, let's talk about a brother that don't care about social media. Look, here's one person from this new media who ain't all caught up in social media. My place, my face, all of this here.
That hurt him, though. He didn't have a shoe
Hey,
deal
look here, man. Let me tell you something. I'm being honest with you.
I thought he got to deal with New Balance.
He did, but come on, man. Who raising their hand for that?
Excuse me.
Running marathons?
Is this Uncle Jimmy segment? I'm just asking. Listen here, man. I'm trying to tell you something. I don't know the man's coach. I don't know his dad. I don't know his brother. I don't even know the university that he went to.
San Diego State.
But I think, I could be wrong, but I think Kawhi found himself in the same situation last year at San Antonio that KD found himself in Monday night in Golden State. Remember, the team needed him to play. What did they do? Sent Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili in there to talk to him.
I remember
Try to geese him up, make him play.
They did.
Hey, man, look here. This is why I love Kawhi. Kawhi just sit there like this. Just gave him that old goofy-ass laugh. Y'all out your damn mind. Y'all think I'm going to get out there and play.
They set him up. They trying to get him.
They trying to get me. No, man.
They sure did.
Man. See, this is what I like about Kawhi. Kawhi don't give a damn about the likes and dislikes of social media. And now guess what he about to get? A championship.
Woo. That's real.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Here, let me put it like this. For those of y'all ain't following me right now. You know who Kawhi Leonard is? Lionel Richie from the Commodores.
Why?
Lionel Richie.
Why?
Wow, where you going with this?
Yeah, hello.
First of all, remember the Commodores. Commodores had all kind of great hits in the
ball.
Through the 77.
Bang.
But remember, Lionel Richie wasn't the original lead singer for the Commodores. The star of the group was Walter Clyde Orange. Remember, that wasn't Lionel talking about, oh, she's a brick. That wasn't him. See, but this is the problem when he was in San Antonio. They wasn't listening to him. See that? Yeah, that's mate. They wasn't listening to him. Hey, man, he was in San Antonio. Kawhi talking about, sail on down the line, half a mile or so. Don't really want to know where you're going. They didn't realize his music was changing a little bit. His style was changing. Then he sat up and he said, they wouldn't listen. He said, no, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Huh? Oh. He said, Pop, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Huh? And then he got off the plane in Toronto.
He going.
And he said, hello? Is it me y'all looking for? And everything changed.
It changed.
You understand what I'm saying?
Uncle Jimmy, ladies and gentlemen. Uncle Jimmy.
That's exactly. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm making everybody feel all right.
Oh, man.
Come on now.
Hit that again.
Which one? Hello?
No, before that.
Which one?
No.
Oh, we gonna get it
3 times a lady would be the one.
Oh,
Anyway,
you gonna make me cry up in here now.
All right, we got to go to my approval rating for Kevin Durant. He's jumped up 13 points to a 78. Moved him up job performance. He's not available, so I can't go too high, but he did play well in a heroic effort. I moved him up a point, all-time greatness. 5 points off, 6 points off. Anyway,
hurry up, man. I'm going to 77 just so I can hear Uncle Jimmy sing some more. Unlucky number 13 for job performance. You played, but you shouldn't have played. 24, you capped yourself. You may not ever get to 25, unfortunately. Damn it. Character, look, this is a guy who went out there and did some stuff. But tell the truth. Authenticity has to drop. Tell the truth, KD.
Small town boy
like on a long break. We'll see you July 1.